justice and peace and equality. Now the world they will see.
Now, 5 years, ABC, they reported that the city of Stockbridge overspent their budget $32 million. 30, I believe it was 30.
Yes, that's that.
Somewhere around there. What happened? How did that come about? You know, like, we know cities set budgets. We know that people have things in place with, I believe you guys have 6, 7 on the council.
It's 6 of us, 5 council members, and me make 6.
So how did we get to the point? Because I see where the city manager, Fred Gardner, retired, quit.
Yeah, no, he left. He left and went to Atlanta, joined Andre Dickens in Atlanta.
Okay. So he left. The Amphitheater guy left.
Right. We had a treasurer. We had 2 treasurers that came and gone and left. Things of that nature. What I mentioned, I believe before, is that what had happened is that funds were taken from one account and moved to a different account without the proper approval and presentation and approval of the council. Okay. When you have a set budget, and the budget for the amphitheater was our amphitheater was low. I guess operationally was low anyway. Too low. But we didn't catch that, didn't realize it was really too low. All right. So what it amounts to make, and this is all on the operational side per se, with all the things that go into operating an amphitheater, with all the acts that are coming in and all the amount of people that have to be employed to have the operating room, such as the back line, all the equipment that is necessary for the broadcast, the ushers, the caterers, the transportation piece for artists themselves, all that plays into the operational piece of the amphitheater. So the original budget we set was way too low than what should have been. So we did not totally understand it as a collective group. But regardless of that, there was money that was moved from point A, from one budget line to another budget line to help the operational piece of the amphitheater to move. And this 32 million plus you're talking about was over a couple year period.
So it didn't just happen this year?
No, it didn't. No, this happened. No, it's a couple year period in this aspect. But what has happened is that it was never brought officially to the council for official budget amendment for it to be explained to us, brought to us, and we say yay or nay. Move the money from point A to point B. That it happened once for $500,000 is really all that happened. But all the millions of dollars that was moved was not brought to us for our formal approval. That's where things didn't go right. Now we made changes now. Thus, with a new city, with not only a new city manager, but basically with a new treasurer that came in several months or so ago, we now made the adjustments here recently. We now made the proper adjustments and to the budget in this aspect. And now going forward, the thing that happened in the past won't happen again. We made those adjustments properly to make sure that it's not going to happen again.
Not going to happen again. Now, does that 32 million fall on like the city manager, the trade? Who does it follow? Because we had some people quit, we had some people leave. Like who bears the burden?
Well, there are people that on the staff that have left, one reason or another have left. And it was up to the city manager presents the budget to the council. And so we the council in the last several years, and every year actually, we have passed the budget. We passed the budget based on the information that was brought to us. We passed the budget. So what it amounts to is that's the city manager's responsibility to do that. So, and it's also the city manager's responsibility to, if there are any adjustments to be made, to come back to the council with those particular adjustments or recommended for those adjustments. For the city manager, dealing with the financial director that handles the purse strings of that and his team of folks that will come before the council with the adjustment that is needed to operate and manage to operate the city. So what it amounts to once again is that money was moved from point A to point B. All right, but it was never officially brought to us in a public meeting. It would have been a public meeting. Brought to us in a public meeting for the proper adjustments for us to say yay or nay in reference to or question the movement of money. It was never brought to us officially. You're not going to see any public hearing or any documentation from a public meeting indicating that during the last couple of years when this occurred. Now, what we have done once again recently publicly, here in the last within the last month, 6 weeks, is that we've made the proper adjustments necessary, to correct it. And we'll go forward, and this won't happen again. But during the time frame, it was not brought to us. I mean, that's the fact. It just was not brought to us. So no one, I would say, no one pocketed money or anything like that. It was just not it was not properly it moved from one place to another place and brought to us for our approval.
Okay, because we know, like in government, and I think this happens a lot. There's some tier systems where your county manager or somebody can write a check for $5,000 without it get approved by the board, and even on the county level, you can write checks for $49.99.95, and as long as it's under threshold. So is that one of the cases that happened,
Well, once again, it comes to the point. It comes to the point that you're talking about maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in actions or things of this nature.
Okay.
And it was outside of the city manager's authority to do. It would be within my authority to do as a mayor, provided that it got approval from the council themselves. You see, it would have to be, so if it's something outside the authority of the city manager and it has to be done, it has to be presented to the council in an open meeting, and then the council has to approve it, and then once they approve it, then as a mayor now, I would have authority to sign whatever I need to sign based on the presentation, based on the vote for at least 3 individuals saying, yes, do this, and then I'll have the funds are there, and then I have the clarity to sign off and make it happen.
Okay, now.
So those things never happened like that.
They never happened.
That's why you got to see, because it never came before the council. It never came a yay or nay for the council, and I never had an opportunity to sign off on anything because it was never brought to us for our approval.
Okay. Now around that time, Vystar manager Harold Young. I believe he was the Vystar Amphitheater manager. I'm sorry, Stockbridge Amphitheater.
Yeah. He was our manager. Harold was the manager. Right.
He resigned during that time. Was there what was the discrepancy?
He was let go in June.
Okay.
In June.
Why was he let go, and what happened around that situation?
Well, when the amounts of things started coming to light, so we had to come loose. And things that came to light that there were some things that just weren't going right, so we had to cut them loose.
Okay.
In this aspect, and then of course there's other inquiries going on in reference to the whole operation itself.
Okay.
We made the adjustments, but there are still some other inquiries going on in how things were operated, how things were conducted.
Was that an adjustment made when the young man came to the podium and brought everything and asked for the
the individual made his public statement.
Okay.
But there were already things in motion to make some adjustments or get clarity on the mistakes that were made, and clarity by our current finance director, which is tightened up all the loose ends and made the right
and equality. Now the world they will see. That's why we